Hello. Hi, I'm sorry about the link, guys. I've been having trouble with, for some reason. Hi, Patricia. Um, let's see. I know it was very confusing because usually I can just start up right from my event, and it wasn't letting me, so I had to kind of like just jump in there and tell you guys to come onto my page and do it. So I apologize for the confusion. I'm not sure what happened, but it doesn't surprise me because I just was kind of um, working with somebody earlier before I started doing this. And we were kind of working with things that were happening in somebody's house. So it doesn't surprise me that the phones are acting kind of weird right now. The electronics, how they kind of act up when this happens. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants tonight. So, which is kind of cool because I didn't have a chance to really sit and prepare stuff. So tonight is really going to be kind of interesting to see what comes up while we're doing this kind of, without any preparation, without a lot of preparation, I should say. So Mary Harton is moderating for us this evening, and if you have any questions, because it's hard for me to monitor the comments while I'm doing this because I'm in such a different state of mind, just post them on here, and Mary will try and answer them if she can. If she can't, I'll answer them after the fact. Make sure that you guys leave your comments here. I love to see your comments. If there's something that resonates with you, and maybe, it's okay if you don't want to share it on here, you can reach out to me after the fact. Because I always love to hear the stories, or I love to hear how, something resonated with you or made sense. So just remember when I'm doing the readings, guys, that just because it may not be directed at you, I might not say your name when I'm doing the reading. A lot of times, a lot of things are meant for other people as well. So we can learn something by listening, right, to other people and what they're getting for their messages. So I think I have everybody. It looks like pretty much everybody. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start with, let's start with, hi, Melissa. Melissa, you might want to jump on to the Facebook Live. I'm not sure if you're on there or not. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Janet Trujillo. Okay, Janet asked to be read. So, Janet, I was getting, when I was making the list, I was kind of like, okay, Janet, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. And I know that, I'm going to be transparent with that I know you've been through a lot, okay? Because we have had a couple of conversations. But I feel like there's this, feeling of, okay, this is going to stop now, right? You're at the point where you've kind of let what was happening kind of control you, or, make you feel a certain way. But now you're kind of at the point where you're like, okay, that's enough, right? I have to deal with this. I'm going to deal with this, but it's not going to impact me the way it did before. And I think that's definitely a big growth process for you, right? You've definitely done some growing within this time frame. And I just feel like this has been a relief for you, this new point of view that you have, this different frame of mind. I feel like this is very freeing for you. And that's a great thing, right? Because we all want to have that feeling of contentment and feeling safe where we are. And I feel like that's been a lot of work for you, Janet, but I feel like you're finally at that place where you're starting to feel, you feel like you're safe, and you're able to be who you are without having to worry so much about what's going on around you, if that makes sense. So Janet, I think that the next 2 months are probably going to be very exciting for you with the holiday season. There's going to be this feeling of like, I'm finally able to enjoy this where you haven't been able to before. Okay, let's do Patricia Cronenberg. I know you're on here, hon. So, Patricia, I was getting it's okay to kind of slow down a little bit because you've been going full speed ahead, right? And I know, again, you've had a little bit of stuff happening for you, and you've been kind of concentrating on things. But I feel like you've really just kind of taken off full speed ahead, and you're just like, this is not going to impact me. This is not going to change who I am. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome for you to feel that way. And I think you're making great progress. I feel a lot of positive energy around you. I think you should be proud of where you are. I keep hearing so proud. Be so proud. This, yeah, what is this month for you, Patricia? There's something going on this month. Birthday, anniversary of something. And who, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Because I heard caretaker, but I have to acknowledge that I do know that you do some caretaking for your uncle, right? But I just kept hearing that you're such the caretaker that you need to turn that towards yourself a little bit, because you're always taking care of everybody else, okay? And so now it's time for you to take care of yourself. I also get the three. The three? Okay, Patricia, they're talking about the number 3 around you, but it feels like 3 children. I know we talk about 2 all the time, but who's the third? Okay, so if you could maybe message me later, maybe we could figure that out. But I keep getting a 3rd child, okay? All right. So Patricia, take some time for yourself. You're going gung-ho, I know that, but just, make sure you take a little time for yourself. All right, let's do, let's see, Lynn Marie. Okay. Lynn, I was getting, yeah, I keep feeling there's some kind of a new situation that's kind of come up for you, and I feel like there's a lot of possibilities that can come out of this, but I feel like you're hesitant still, regardless of all the good that can come out of this, which you're aware of. You're still kind of hesitant. So I want you to ask yourself, what is keeping you back, right? I keep hearing, again, you're another one that's so busy, right? You're so busy with everything that you're not recognizing your personal gift, because you do have a gift, okay? And I think that some of it that's coming through for you, the feeling of possibilities and things like that, has to do with you learning how to use what you already have, if that makes sense to you. I think that there's going to be a time coming up very soon that you're going to be focusing on this stuff. You're going to be focusing on, I feel like this is spiritual for you. This is like kind of a spiritual awakening for you. So I feel like there's going to be a time coming up very soon where you're going to be working on that, and you're going to be able to use it to help people. Okay. And when that starts to happen, that's when it's really going to kick in for you. It's really going to kick in for you, and you're going to be like, okay, this is where I need to be. And I think that's important, because I think for a long time you've been trying to figure out where you need to be. Okay. So I want you to, Lynn, I want you to focus on the feelings that you're getting, okay, and pay attention, and don't, how do I say it? Don't kind of, push it back to the back of your mind, because I feel like there's people that say to you, oh, just, don't think about it. You don't want to do that, or you don't want to, and that's all good for them. That's fine for them, right? But we're talking about you. So if you ignore something and you push it down, it's going to come back eventually. And it comes back with a vengeance, right? So I want you to acknowledge this. Acknowledge your gift, and then figure out how you want to use it. Okay? But I think once you do that, there's just going to be no stopping you. Okay. Let's do... and I just want to say hi, because I see a lot of new people signing on. I hope that, if you don't get a chance tonight, you didn't get a chance to sign up for tonight, you can sign up for next time, because what I do is I post on my Facebook page, or I will post an event that I'm going to be going live for the free readings, and then I just ask that you leave a comment saying, please read me, or post your question, and then that way you can be read on here. I'm just seeing a lot of people. Thank you, Virginia, for that compliment. I appreciate that. So also, if you friend me on Facebook, you can also follow me that way, and or follow. I think you can hit follow and check out the events and different things that I do. Okay, let's do Dawn Broder. Okay, Dawn. Okay. Yeah, Dawn, I'm getting excuse me, I'm getting a significant loss for you. I feel like there's been a loss. I want to say this has been fairly recent, and to me, fairly recent. When I say that, that's like probably within the last 4 to 5 months. Um, we have a lot. We have a lot in our lives, right? And we have to remember that we're still here. Okay. Yes, our loved ones are gone. They're gone from the physical world, but they're still near us spiritually. Okay. And they want us to remember that we're still here because we have to spend our time here and make the most of it, right? Um, Obviously, we're going to grieve for our loved ones, right? We grieve for the loss. We grieve for them being here physically with us. Um, One of the things, and I think we've talked about this before, one of the things I always get when they come through is they're always saying, tell so-and-so I love them. Tell my mom I love them. Give my mom a hug. Tell her happy birthday. Mother's Day, they come in and they're, give her flowers. So they're always trying to let us know that they love us and they care for us and they want us to be okay. Even if they're not physically here with us, right? Okay. But, Dawn, one of the other things is they're saying that, you did everything that you could and they want you to remember the good times. And they're also saying that you need to let go of the guilt that you're feeling because you did enough and that you did everything that you could do. Okay, so you need to stop asking yourself the what ifs. What if I did this? What if I showed up 5 minutes earlier? Or what if I paid attention to that, right? Because we could sit there and ask ourselves all these questions when things happen, and none of us really know, right? We don't really know. We have to trust that what happened happened. And that's what your loved one is saying. There's nothing you could have done. There's nothing you could have done, hon. And she wants you to keep going forward with your life, okay? Okay. Let's do, let's see, who else? Amber Pelletier. Amber, are you watching? I hope you are because I know you've requested this. So, Amber, I was getting, so I'm going to say this, but I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I was getting like absolute terror. and I don't mean, I know that sounds terrible and I don't mean it that way, to be like you were terrified, but it just feels like there's just something that kind of has come up for you that you've just been like, oh my God. And, I want you to know you're right where you need to be. This is where you're supposed to be right now, Amber. Okay. And I feel like there's just been like this uneasiness with you a little bit. And you're feeling like you're a little bit confined in this situation and maybe that you're kind of outgrowing it. And that's okay. And that can be scary when we feel like we're outgrowing a situation, right? Because we just don't know, what's going to happen. Things are changing. And then you start to feel like the places that you're at, hold on one second. I'm sorry. So just to clarify, the anybody who's tuning in tonight, I'm sorry to interrupt your reading, Amber. But yeah, so anybody who is watching tonight, as long as I'm able to see that you're watching, because you say hello or you leave a comment, you're eligible for the special for the reading, okay? So Amber, I'm sorry, I want to get back to that. So the familiar becomes unfamiliar, right? So all of a sudden, all the things that we thought were so familiar and so comfortable to us all of a sudden become like almost foreign. So that kind of terrorizes us, right? That makes us nervous and we get nervous and scared. I want you to realize though that the people that are around you hopefully will be supportive for you and help you through this. And just remember that, because I think this is important for you, Amber, that you realize that not everybody's going to come along for the ride. Okay, and I know we've said that before, right? That when we're doing these things, when we're making these spiritual changes or any kind of change, hell, you lose weight and like all of a sudden you lose friends, right? Because, oh my God, they feel like, they should be doing something. And, little changes like that, you change your job and then all of a sudden, everybody changes. So it's just part of our journey and part of life. So we have to kind of learn to accept that. So again, Amber, keep going forward. I think that's the biggest lesson for you, is just to keep going forward. Okay? Let's see who else we have. Paula Marone Coin? Did I say that right? Hi, Deb. No, you didn't miss yours yet. Okay. Let's see. All right. Paula, I was getting for you, because I saw your name pop up a couple of times. So I'm like, okay, this must be really important that I need to tell her this. So I want you to ask yourself how much of what you're feeling is coming from all the stuff around you, okay? And I want you to remember that it's important for us to protect ourselves from negative energy, okay? And I'm talking about negative energy that comes from people, not necessarily spirits, right? Okay? We get negative energy from the people around us. We get negative energy, we could walk into a room, and I feel like you're one of those people that you can walk into a room and just totally pick up on the energy, right? So you could be in this really good mood and you walk in the room and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like you just feel like the wind was just knocked out of you, okay? And remember that the goal of negative energy is what? To wear us down, right? And it starts out small and then it gets bigger and bigger. But, you don't have to let that happen. Yeah. Who's the male figure that keeps coming through? Is this your father? Because I feel like this male figure that has coming through for you, and he's talking about, yeah, there's no right way to do this. He's saying there's no right way to do this. So I'm not sure if you understand that. Okay. Paula, okay, so I understand that question. So let me just, I'm going to put that one out there. Paula is saying that she had asked last week if her husband is going to die. So I understand people asking that question, right? But you have to remember, okay? I could say in this moment that, yeah, maybe something will happen, okay? I'm being very general right now. Anything could happen, like this is going to happen. But we all have free will, right? We all have free will. And, your husband could be waiting for a specific situation. Your husband could be waiting for, or whatever. He has his free will, and he could decide in his mind, I'm holding on till this, or I'm holding on till that. I've had that happen where people, you're sure that this person's going to pass, and then they don't because they're holding on or they're waiting for something. It's not up for us to decide or judge or make that decision of when it's going to happen. That's why I don't like to predict. I don't predict a lot of things because, like I said, the energy at the moment is very different than what the energy could be 5 minutes from now or 10 minutes from now because of our free will or our decision to say, nope, this is not how it's going to go down. So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, I think the biggest thing was that it doesn't have to be this way. And I'm feeling that it really has to do with the process of letting go. Okay? And whether it's him that needs to learn how to let things go, or it's you that needs to learn how to let things go. But I feel like that's part of, yeah, because I heard terminal. So he must be something terminal. But it says, he still has a lot to do and a lot to work out for himself. Okay? All right. Let's do Vicky Frint. Vicky Frint? Okay, Vicky, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting like the army of protection around you, Vicky. I just feel like there's so many people who are around you and protecting you, and not saying that you need the protection because it seems like you just have a lot of good in your life right now, but there's a lot of people who are kind of, I just feel like they're guiding you and they're pushing you in the right directions. So that's kind of like that inner voice that you're hearing when you hear that little voice that kind of says, well, do I really want to do that? Should I do this? Or, And I love the fact that you pay attention to that, because some people don't. I love the fact that you are able to first of all hear that inner voice, and secondly, pay attention to it and know that it means something, right? Let's see. Yeah. I'm sorry. Vicky, I also wanted to ask you though, is this your father who passed? Who's the male who passed quickly? He says I passed quickly, and he talks about being with yeah, what did he call you? He joked something about Victor Victoria. So there's some kind of joke with that. I don't. If you could message me and let me know what exactly that is. I'm kind of picking up Victor Victoria. It's a joke between you guys. Okay. Paige. Let's do Paige Lane. All right. Paige. Wow. I get a lot of built up energy with you. So I feel like again, I know you're very energetic. I just feel like there's just a lot being kind of pent up with you. I feel like in some ways you're feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's okay for you to kind of vent, because I think sometimes you need to vent and you don't. You hold it inside. But it's okay to let people know what you're thinking. Right? It's okay to say, look, this is a lot for me. I need to take a step back, or I need your help, right? It's okay to ask for help. And I think that, it's great that you want to help everybody, but it's okay for you also to ask for help sometimes and to get the support that you need. And yeah, why the violets? I keep hearing violet with you. Violets? Okay. Let's see. Who else joined us? I see some other names on here. All right, let's do... okay, I want to try... Let's do Amy Lestrina. Amy Lestrina, bro. I don't know if you signed on or not, Amy, but I hope you did. So, Amy, I feel like there's been this struggle, right? There's been this struggle. And I also feel like there's been a lot of feeling like things are getting rearranged in your life, right? Kind of like you're not doing it, but these things are just kind of changing around you. And I want you to trust that it's going to be for the better, even if it doesn't feel that way right now, because I think right at this moment you're kind of feeling unsteady with everything, and like, why is this, this just keeps happening. We have to learn, I'm including myself in this, right? We have to learn to try to stop fighting with the universe, right? When these changes are happening, because we just put up this fight to hold on to everything, right? Did you ever see that meme where the people are, they're holding on to the rope, and they're holding on so tight that the rope is cutting through their hand, and right, and that's what we do, because we're just like, we just don't want change. We just want everything to stay the same. And when we put up that fight, we're not making room for the good things that are waiting to come into our life. And Amy, I feel like there's a lot of things that are trying to come into your life, but you're not allowing them to right now. And I would love to see you let some of that happiness and joy in. Okay? So let's try working on that this week. Okay. Amy. And guys, if you have any questions, you can always post them. And if I don't, get to them tonight, I will get to them the next time. I know Mary's telling you about the reading special. And then we will be doing another live, I think next weekend. Probably not Saturday, though. I think more likely it'll be Sunday next week. All right, let's do Darlene Holdley. Okay, Darlene Holdley. So I have to, Darlene, I need to know who was the person that had the trouble with the breathing, because it just feels very heavy to me. It feels very heavy to me. Like kind of lost, I feel like I lost my breath, but this is something that's passed down in your family. Is this like an illness that's passed down in the family? And I feel like this is mom, and saying like, I knew this was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen now. I knew this would happen eventually, but I just didn't think it would happen now. And she talks about there being others. But also there's this fear, and this is a very motherly person that's coming through. She's saying there's a fear among everybody else that, oh my God, like, look what she went through. I don't want to go through that. And so everybody's kind of worried that they're going to go down the same path. And again, this goes back to, first of all, free will, some of the decisions we make so that we don't go down that same path, right? Some things, changing the things that we do have control over. But also she says, I had other things going on that you, and she says you girls don't have. So you girls, I don't know if she's referring to your sisters, but she's saying, I had other stuff going on. But she says that, you know, she's okay and that she's not suffering. And she's saying that she was already in the process of leaving her physical body when you saw her, okay? And she says, yeah, that I'm okay. I'm okay, and I love you. And she talks about the lilies, okay? All right. Where's my list? I lost my list. This is what you get for running around 5 minutes before you have to do your live. Let's do Keeler Charles. Keeler, I know I saw you poke on there for a minute. Oh, here's my list. Okay. Keeler, I get, yeah, I get that you've been very patient. I just keep hearing, you know what, I've been very patient with this whole thing. And I feel like you've been the one that's been sorting everything out. You've been kind of sorting stuff out. And you've been the one that's been guiding the process. So I want you to ask yourself, do I still want to be that person that's going to keep rowing the boat? Okay, if that makes sense. Like, because I feel like you're the one rowing the boat. You're rowing and the person's just kind of sitting there, gliding along. And yeah, I keep something about there's no glory. There's no glory. So I don't know if it's a feeling of you're feeling like you're I'm sorry, because I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. You know, like when you stick something out, like you know, look what I did. I stuck this out, even though it was the worst thing ever. So I don't want you to feel like you have to stick through something that maybe is not working for you, just so that you can say, but look, I stuck by you, or I did this. I stuck by the situation. There's going to be no glory in the outcome. Okay, so I want you to maybe ease up on rowing the boat a little bit and see if they pick up the pace a little bit for you, if they pick up some of the slack. Okay? Okay. How about, let's do Debbie. So Dylan Banjo. I guess that's how you say that. Okay. So yeah, I just keep getting, you know, that you need to hang in there, because I feel like I just get this like being split. Okay, so I feel like you're being torn between what I should be doing and what I am doing, if that makes sense. Because I feel like you're probably going above and beyond what you need to be doing right now, but I feel like there's very there's a feeling that you have to. Okay, not that you don't want to, but a feeling of obligation. I guess that's a better word. I just feel like there's this big feeling of obligation for you. But I feel like there's this split too, because, you know, you're like, I need to do this, but you know, it's kind of impacting you. I feel like some of this is dredging up the past for you, if that makes sense. So not that it's necessarily that you're reliving something, but it's bringing up some old feelings that you had that maybe you haven't dealt with 100%, that now you're kind of like, okay, well, this is kind of making me uncomfortable now. And you're trying to figure out, why are you uncomfortable? You may not even, you know, understand it at first, but I think that if you take a step back and look, you'll see that, you know, oh wow, okay, I am feeling a little uncomfortable, but it's because of what it's bringing up in me. It's bringing up these feelings. So it's not that you don't want to help the person. It's not that you don't want to be there for the person. You can still be there, but just keep your feelings in perspective. Keep your feelings in perspective and respect those feelings so that you're not putting too much of a burden on yourself, because it's going to wear you down to have to, keep dealing with those feelings that are being dredged up for you. I hope that makes sense. And Deb, I also think that I keep hearing, like the next 30 days, and I think you're going to understand this, the next 30 days are going to be very important in whatever the situation is, or the situation, or the whatever the experience is right now. The next 30 days are very important. Okay. Let's do Mary Ann Wilson Fair. All right. Let's see. So, yeah, Mary Ann. Okay. I got a couple things for you, Mary Ann. So I got this feeling of being uneasy. I got an uneasy feeling. But then I also got a feeling of it was the uneasy feeling, and then it was also, I keep hearing, like, proud, okay? So I feel like there's something that you're dealing with. There's something that you're kind of dealing with. It's definitely twofold, and I think it's, like, conflicting feelings for you. I get... Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, because you know what, it's not that you're tough to read, it's what's coming through for you that's difficult. Because I feel like, again, that it's twofold. I feel like some of it's very difficult. So I keep hearing that, you know what, Mary? Wow. Marianne, is this, there's a young child that's coming through. Okay, and that's why I'm getting a little confused here, because I get like a young child, and then I get a mom and a dad. I get mom, dad, and a young child. So I'm not really sure where that's all fitting in with all of this, because I'm getting like very sad. I'm feeling like something's they're talking about very quickly, very quickly. So it's a rapidly changing situation. They're talking about some kind of situation that's rapidly changing for you. For you. I think they're talking about you. But yeah. But Marianne, they talk about you being very strong. They're saying you're very strong, and that you yeah, you're not. They're saying you don't need to go there. You don't need to go there. So I feel like there's like this mentality, or there's these thoughts that you're kind of bringing yourself into this negative space here, and they're saying you don't need to do that, because it's all going to work out. It's all going to be okay. So Marianne, I would love it if you would message me after this, just because I have to tell you that what I'm getting is kind of a little bit kind of confusing for me. I would kind of like to sort it out with you a little bit if you just had a few minutes to message. I would kind of like to just kind of sort it out a little bit with you, because I feel like it's important. And so when something like that comes to me and it feels very important, I like to, make sure that it kind of gets sorted out. Okay. So I don't know if any of that was helpful, Marianne, but, and guys, sometimes that happens, just so you know. Those of you who have had readings have been like firsthand observers of that, where, we'll be talking and all of a sudden it's like something comes in, and, you're trying to figure it out. And sometimes it's that the person doesn't want it to be known, or doesn't want it to be said, or sometimes it's that people just don't talk about things. So there's a million different reasons why the energy will come through kind of conflicted sometimes. And that's why I like to kind of sort it out with people. One way like this is difficult, because, right, it's just me, and then I just maybe see a few words pop up on here. So, with a one-on-one, it's kind of face-to-face. On video, you're able to respond, and we can talk back and forth. And always, it's always meant for comfort and to help you guys kind of sort things out. And that's all again, that's what your loved ones want. They want you to be happy. They want you to know that they're okay. They want you to know that, you know, life is here for you guys to live, and you should keep going and doing what you always wanted to do. So anyways, Halloween. Halloween, guys, I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a Halloween night live. And we're going to do the haunted apartment with the actual audios. We're going to do some of the pictures that were not shown on TV. I will give you the link to the show, Scariest Night of My Life, so you can kind of catch up. Let's see, what else? And I possibly will have 2 stories of actual hauntings. They're kind of in the works of people that might want to come on and talk about it. So Halloween should be fun. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about next week or Halloween or whatever. Again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you got something out of it. Let's see what else. Anything else? Let's see. I see a lot of new people. I'm so happy that you guys joined us. And I'm gonna, right after this, I'm gonna post for the next live. So make sure that you post. Please read me, your comment or your question, and I will put you on the list for next week. And also, if anybody has any questions about anything we talked about tonight, you guys reach out, because like I said, sometimes I get the message and you know, it doesn't always mean anything to me. As long as you get the message, that's all that matters. So, anyways. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Good night.